My name is Suneet Sebastian. The physique you see is not something I always had, but it is something I always wanted. It is an achievement, a progress, a struggle, an experience. An experience that required a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, but most importantly, the right path. I believe in sharing the path I took, the path that led me to what I am today, the path that will help you understand not just how to achieve a great physique, but to become the strongest, fittest version of yourself. This is the story of Sebastian Fitness Solutions, and it all started from the very beginning.
Growing up, I was a fat little kid from the suburbs of Mumbai, who apparently had just one role in life: be everybody else's punching bag. I remember so many instances of being bullied just about everywhere I went. At school, in my apartment complex. But it didn't just end there. It kept haunting me all day, every day in my mind. Yeah, it sucked. One incident that's etched in my memory was this one time when me and my friends, were hanging out at the back of our apartment complex. And I don't even remember what happened or why, but it ended up with being all of them just ganging up on me and beating the crap out of me. Pushing me around, calling me names, and the worst part, laughing at my expense. Oh, and one of the weirdest things about this was that one of these kids was a cousin of this one friend who came to visit for the very first time. And he joined in too. Like, the kid doesn't even know me. And here he was hitting me with a vengeance. So anyway, the place where this was happening was sort of like a dumping ground, and there was a lot of trash lying around. And amidst getting shoved and kicked around, I suddenly felt someone dump an entire trash can over my head, covering me with it. And then the kicks to the head over the trash can ensued. I'll be honest, I've never felt so alone in my life. So weak, so pathetic. But the absolute worst thing was when I finally got to take that trash can off my head. As I lifted it off, I saw three girls at a distance walking towards us, watching what was happening. And one of them was this girl I had the biggest crush on. My first crush. I remember how powerless I felt, knowing that I could never look this girl in the eye ever again, much less ask her out. And this was just one of the incidents among countless others, and believe me, there were many. But this one was by and large what stuck out the most painful. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why were they doing this to me? And more importantly, why couldn't I just stand up for myself? I just knew that it had to change. Enough was enough. I needed to get my self-confidence back. And for that, I need to look like someone you don't want to mess with. I need to lose that fat. I need to get strong. And I knew exactly how. Or so I thought. Now, at the time, I had nothing to go by for fitness knowledge than what I would see or read via the media. And of course, good old conventional wisdom. I knew that when it came to exercise, I was getting my fair share, given that I was a competitive basketball player by that time. The main problem was my diet, which up until then was pretty much 95% junk. And no, I am not exaggerating. I've literally eaten pastry for breakfast and 36 oil-fried puris with strawberry jam as a pre-basketball meal. So long story short, I needed to fix my diet. That was the answer. And I remember asking myself, what is a healthy diet? What bad foods do I need to cut out to make my diet healthy? I remember reading that carbs make you fat. Okay, carbs are out. I remember reading that fat makes you fat. Okay, fats are out. No more foods cooked in oil. I remember reading that meat is bad for you. Okay, meat is out too. Literally the only thing I never heard anyone bash was salad. Bingo. That's what I'll eat. So for 2 months, all I would eat would be a small plate containing a few pieces of tomatoes, cucumber, onions, and a bit of lettuce. For lunch and dinner. That's it. Not a morsel more anywhere, anytime else for whatever reason. And I topped that off with 2+ hours of basketball every single day. Eat less and move more, right? And you know what? I did that every single day. There were no cheat days. There was not one day where I felt I was going to break. I was focused, disciplined, driven. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what happened as a result. I lost weight, a lot of it. I dropped 18 kilograms in 2 months. My tummy was gone. I could see the outline of my abs. Success, right? Wrong. While I did lose a lot of fat during this time, I ended up losing a lot of muscle too. The result? I ended up looking like an anorexic skinny twig. You know what sucked just as much as getting bullied for being a fat little kid? Thinking I was a big shot because of how much weight I lost. People around me were commenting on how I was getting too skinny. But to hell with that. They don't know any better. Or so I thought. I figured I looked great. But one eye-opening moment slapped me with a healthy dose of reality. Someone from my college took a picture of me with some random girl standing next to me. A picture is worth 1,000 words. And those words were saying, "Suneet, you skinny bastard." That was my best Arnold impression, by the way. The girl next to me had arms that were bigger than mine. And she wasn't even heavy. That was when the delusion broke. I knew I had taken it too far. And I thought to myself, time to hit the gym and pack on some muscle. And about a month or so into that, I came across this notice at my gym about a fat loss seminar. Now, being as interested in fitness as I was, I obviously decided to attend. And that one decision changed my life. In that seminar, the speaker, who would eventually become my mentor in fitness, spoke of the typical and conventional ways people approach fat loss and systematically broke down each of those myths using scientifically backed evidence. And I sat there absolutely amazed at how each of the examples he'd point out about the wrong way of going about things was exactly what I did. It was like he was spelling out my life story for the last 2 months. And I found myself nodding to everything he said about the consequences of the wrong approach. Malnourishment, hair loss, weakness, drastic muscle loss, low stamina, and overall just feeling like crap. Because I suffered each of those. But the thing that stuck with me the most was this. Whatever I did up until this point, no matter how incredibly stupid, took a lot of hard work, discipline, and dedication. It's not something that just about anyone can do. And for someone like that who has the dedication, has the passion, has the discipline, and is willing to do whatever it takes to get fit, it would be a downright shame if someone like that were to unknowingly end up further away from his or her goals and ends up hurting themselves. At the very least, investing in the wrong information or advice is a huge waste of time. And that ended up being me. And the only way I could prevent that from happening again was to invest the time and effort to educate myself about the science of fitness, to pursue knowledge. I wanted to know what the speaker of that seminar knew. I was amazed by his knowledge and was driven by his message to pursue it. My very first step was to look for answers online, just like anybody else. I'd follow various fitness experts and their blogs, videos, etc. But I quickly caught on that a lot of that information was contradictory, and most of them lacked any real scientific explanation or backing. It was more like do this, do that, instead of giving us the why. And if there's one thing I learned from that seminar, it's to always ask the question why before trusting any advice that comes my way. So, fed up and frustrated with the lack of quality answers, I decided to take matters into my own hands and started studying textbooks on anatomy, muscle physiology, biomechanics, sports nutrition, etc. And the more I did that, two things happened. Number one, I fell in absolute love with what I was studying. I could spend hours after hours, sleepless nights reading this and never get sick of it. Number two, I realized that just about every expert online and their information was absolute garbage. I was reminded of myself at the start of my journey and how misinformation led me to wasting so much of my time and almost cost me my health and well-being. How it made me feel cheated. And I told myself, if there is someone out there just like me with that kind of blind passion and determination, I want to save him or her from going through what I did. I felt that it was my moral obligation. I felt like it was my duty to pay it forward and share the knowledge I had obtained. I was also reminded of the countless hours I spent studying the highly detailed and complicated core sciences of fitness and realized that it may not be everyone's cup of tea. I wanted to save others the effort of running from pillar to post searching for answers online only to get misleading ones or to have to go through those huge complicated anatomy textbooks themselves. And this was when the idea of Sebastian Fitness Solutions was born. I wanted to create a single go-to resource for scientific, evidence-based information on everything fitness that anyone, be it a rank beginner or a seasoned veteran, can go to for unbiased and factual information that covers every little detail with scientific facts, but presented in a simple, easy to understand manner. Basically, I want to share with you all that I've spent years learning in the simplest and easiest way possible and help you become the fittest version of yourselves while saving you all the trouble I have gone through for the same. I strongly feel this is my calling in life. And it is my passion to help fight against the sheer volume of misinformation out there that hurt me and could hurt you too. So, if you're someone who is sick and tired of the confusing and contradicting information out there and is finally ready to cut the crap and achieve your maximum potential, then you belong here at Sebastian Fitness Solutions. Join me in this mission of promoting a no BS, evidence-based scientific information, and together let's clean up the mess that is the fitness industry today. This is the story of Sebastian Fitness Solutions. It is a story that has changed my life. And starting today, it is a story that will change yours.